Of course, a very famous person. And there's Mark. How are you doing, Mark?
Hiya, how you doing?
We are in the Royal Enfield booth, Eicma 2018, and of course, last year we did launch the twins.
Yep.
And it took a year before finally it's going to be out in production. I know it was launched in the United States a few months ago.
Correct, yep.
Mind telling us why it took about a year? Were you like fixing some of the bugs and what's going on?
So, I mean, obviously, all the way through production, there is a process of design and then validation and testing and a process of ramping up. So when we showed the bikes last year, they were a pre-production prototype, and it's taken us a year just to get to the point where we're ready to move into full production. So
awesome.
We're really happy with the bikes now. They've come out fantastically well.
I think that's the important thing.
Absolutely right. And
so,
they had an amazing response in California. So
nice. Want to show us the bike?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So,
okay.
So here we've got this is the Continental GT. So
nice.
We've got the Continental GT and the Interceptor INT 650. So they're both a 650cc air-cooled parallel twin with a 270-degree crank and a balancer shaft. They share a huge amount of componentry, so they have the same chassis, the same frame, same suspension setup. Obviously, fuel tank, seating position, riding position, handlebars, legs are different, and that creates a really different feel to each bike. So, you get a surprisingly different amount of change between the two bikes.
Now, I owned a couple of Royal Enfields. I had the Classic 500 and I had the GT Continental.
Right.
Those are thumpers. And I know it's going to be difficult for you to describe it, but now that they're twins, how did that differ feel-wise? Designed by Royal Enfield.
So obviously they're not a single, so they don't have that single thump to them, but they've got something else. They've got what we kind of describe, and we haven't found a good word for it yet, but a burble.
A burble?
A burble is the word that we use, like a brappy burble.
Okay.
And they've got a lovely engine note to them. They've got a lovely, you can hear it on the video as they run away, and they've got a beautiful note to them. Because they're balanced, so both the 270-degree firing order and the balancer shaft basically deal with all the vibrations, so the primary and secondary vibrations, and it means that you just get a nice sensation. There's no fuzziness, there's none of the inherent vibration that you get with the single, so they're very smooth.
Nice.
But they're not without character. There's a definite.
It's still got the Royal Enfield vibe there,
the Royal Enfield character. As you roll on, they still feel like a Royal Enfield. And for us, that was always absolutely critical to what we did with them, is that they had character and soul, and that's at the heart of everything we do at Royal Enfield.
Beautiful. And of course, what caught my attention is that bike that everybody's gawking at right now. You want to go over there and tell me about that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Because that is like totally, that's a beautiful bike.
So this is a project that started. We've recently invested a huge amount of money at Royal Enfield in our.
Well, it looks expensive.
Sorry?
It looks expensive.
So in our design capability in-house and our industrial design teams. And this project started really as a discussion in the design studio. So about 2016, we purchased a classic model KX. So you can see over here.
Yeah.
The KX.
That green one, and it's now this one. That's basically...
The KX was a bike that we had in our past. It was a bike we had in the 1930s. And we wanted to take the proportional stance of that and create something that was new and contemporary, but was still very Royal Enfield, but carried over Royal Enfield's kind of DNA in it. And that's how we came up with the KX. And it started really just as an in-house experimentation, as something for the design team to do that would allow them to be creative and without the constraints of production. And I think we come up with
Matt, what's the plan? I know it's a concept, but is this going to come out soon? Because that's really exciting. Look at it.
It's not something we intend to put in production anytime soon. But that said, these things influence our design decisions going forward. That's why we do them, is to inform that process of decision making. And if you get the right feedback and people are interested, then who knows? Never say never. You can see some of the detailing here. We've picked up some of the things like the traditional Royal Enfield pinstriping. The tank form and shape is very dynamic. But
look at that! Look at that kind of detail. It's.
So we wanted that hardtail look. That again is very much the original, but equally something that was modern and worked. And we worked quite hard to package some of the bits and
you put the shocks inside the swing arm. That's brilliant. You know, awesome work.
The girder front end, and this is heavily influenced by the shape and the form of the nacelle. So on our classics, they have that casquette, that cast nacelle shape. And what we did with that was try to pick up that feeling and create that sort of blended feel. And I think that's come out really successfully.
Well, in terms of feedback and how people are reacting to it, my friend, I know you guys released the twins, but look at how everybody here is just hanging around this beautiful bike right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. You know, it's only been on show for an hour or so, but we're really pleased with the response. It's been really, really positive. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes.
All right, thank you so much for your time, my friend, and congratulations, Royal Enfield.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
All right.
Okay.